Colorado is being sued by a North Dakota organization. They claim the law in our state that bans the use of Indian mascots in high schools is unconstitutional. 9 News legal analyst Whitney Traylor joins us now to talk more about this case. Whitney, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Gary. Happy Friday, everyone.
So before we get to the substance of the lawsuit, talk about the Colorado law that is being challenged. What's that all about?
Right. So there was a law that was passed actually this year, Senate Bill 21-116, and it's called Prohibition of American Indian Mascots in Colorado. And so essentially the state legislature, I think it was Governor Hickenlooper, first created a commission on the Indian Commission, the Commission on Indian Affairs for Indian Affairs. And they studied some of the, there were numerous schools that had Indian type mascots, and they studied the effects and found that it was very detrimental. It also perpetuated negative stereotypes. They had the like Chief UGH Lee, so Chief Ugly and things like that. And so what they did was they banned it. They said you have to change those things. The high schools, the schools that have these types of mascots need to change the logos, the mascots, and everything by June of 2022.
And that led to this lawsuit. And I understand there are numerous plaintiffs in this lawsuit. So who is suing who, and what are they asking the court to do?
Yeah, there are numerous plaintiffs and defendants. So the plaintiffs are 5 individuals that are essentially alumni of some of these schools that are going to have to change their mascots. And they purport, at least in the complaint, to have Native American ancestry, if you will. There's also a group that you mentioned, Gary, the North Dakota group, that's called Native American Guardians Association, or NAGA. And NAGA has been going around. They also purport to be a group putting forth Native American interest, and they have been going around the country challenging some of these same types of laws. They were involved in the Washington football team, which was the Washington Redskins, and there was a lot of pushback on that. So they're suing, saying that, hey, removing this is actually removing Native American heritage and culture from the conversation. And so they're suing Governor Polis and a number of Colorado officials, saying that this law is unconstitutional. They've also requested a declaratory relief, an emergency injunctive relief, because they're saying for these schools to comply with removing the names, removing the logos by next year will cost hundreds of thousands. Some schools it'll cost millions. So they're asking the court now to stop that, saying the law is unconstitutional before these schools have to really start putting time and money into these changes.
So what's your crystal ball? What do you think is going to happen here? You think they're going to get the early hearing?
Well, they will probably get the hearing. I don't know that they're going to prevail on that because, I mean, Gary, I read this entire complaint and it just didn't sound right. I mean, the very first paragraph of the complaint, they actually cite to Martin Luther King. They have a Martin Luther King photo from a middle school, and they said, well, what would it be like if we went around and took off all the Martin Luther King, names and logos from these schools? But I think that completely misunderstands the argument. This is what the plaintiffs are saying, because for them to compare, say, Martin Luther King with some of these mascots of, savages and warriors and those kind of names, I don't think there's any real comparison, because they're not actually specific names. These are sort of based on stereotypes and negative connotations. For example, Redskins and savages and Indians, warriors, all of these types of things. And they're saying that, hey, that's actually supporting the Native American heritage. And I just haven't seen a lot of Native Americans coming out saying, yes, we agree that this, positively impacts us or reflects positively on us, when it's all of these sort of unusual characteristics like redskin and things like that.
We will keep an eye on it, see what happens. As always, thank you for your expertise, and take care.